Am I overreacting? My husband went to a bachelor party where escorts stayed at the villa. This is gonna be long, so please bear with me. Last weekend, my 35F husband, 38M, went to a bachelor party in Cancun. The best man booked a private villa that is out of the main city and is pretty secluded. But it's fully staffed, right on the water, and has plenty of rooms for everyone in their small group to have their own. My husband didn't really want to go because we've been so busy with work and other trips this summer. He told the groom and the best man that he was out, but they were adamant about him going, said they couldn't imagine it without him. So the best man bought my husband a non-refundable plane ticket and basically said he wasn't taking no for an answer. Leading up to the trip, my intuition was screaming that something about this wasn't on the up and up. I couldn't put my finger on it, but I just had this yucky feeling in my gut. The week of, the best man sends the itinerary, which includes dress attire details. Stuff like bring your best swim trunks like you're dressing to impress at a Vegas pool party, and plan theme nights such as a Black Light Night and Miami Vice Night. My husband and I laughed thinking it was silly to be dressing to impress at a sausage fest, but we figured the best man was just trying to make it fun since it was such a small group of them. But my intuition was gnawing at me again. The afternoon they arrived at the villa was fine. Hubby sent me photos and a video walkthrough of his bedroom to show me the view from his balcony overlooking the ocean. We texted about a lot of work stuff. We have a business, but I could tell later that night that something was different just based on the change of tone of his texts. I just figured they were busy, didn't text him anymore, and tried not to read too much into it. The next morning, their first one there, my husband posts on his Instagram story a photo of the breakfast table at the villa. Nothing special, but it just had a pretty view of the pool and ocean in background. Later that morning, I happened to look at the villa's Instagram and saw they reposted a tagged video from a woman's story. It was of her and two other women eating breakfast, and she panned over the table and out to the view of the pool and ocean. I figured it was probably the people who stayed there at the villa before our husbands arrived, and the villa had just gotten around to reposting it. Until something caught my eye on the dining table. It was one of the decorations for the bachelor party. I saw the same thing in my husband's story too. I thought that can't be right, but after quadruple checking, it was the same fucking decoration that our husbands had set up specifically for the bachelor party. I then went to this woman's profile and looked at her other stories and saw that those women were actually there at the villa the night before, dressed up for the Black Light Night, were partying at the villa and were now having breakfast. Meaning they fucking stayed the night there. I admit that I stalked this woman's Instagram the majority of the day. One of her stories showed her and the women hanging out in the pool and all our husbands in the background. Then she posted a photo of them all sitting around the table gambling together. She was sitting right next to my husband. I was able to see one of the other women's stories as well, and she actually had her OnlyFans links in her bio, and I was able to see her ex account was full of porn. I lost my fucking mind. I immediately called my husband to confront him, and at first he tried to lie until he realized that I actually knew and wasn't just baiting him for info. He said he didn't know what to do. The best man said he had a surprise after they arrived at the villa, and apparently it was these escorts staying there with them for their entire trip. My husband said he planned to tell me when he got home, but figured if he told me while on the trip, I would tell the other wives, and he would have basically fried the other husbands there because it would have gone nuclear. I've never been so livid. How on earth would anyone think this is appropriate for strange women to be staying there? None of those men are single. The best man has put all his friends in a position of being trapped at a secluded villa with slutty escorts and nowhere else to go. And now they have to keep a secret and lie to their wives/fiancé so that they aren't the rat of the friend group that outed everything. Am I overreacting? Or is this absolutely insane for someone to think is appropriate? My instinct right when I found out was to tell the other wives, but I wasn't sure if they had given their stamp of approval on this, and I was just the clueless wife whose hubby never told her of the plans. My understanding now based on conversations I've had with my husband since he got home is that I'm the only wife that found this out/knows. Do I tell the other wives? Do I risk hurting the marriages of my friends with this truth bomb? I feel like I'm part of the disrespectful, dirty secret by keeping this info from my friends. I'm so sad.